So you're deep in wedding planning mode, picking out flowers, tasting cake, and debating if you really need those fancy table name cards. And now, after researching photographers, you're wondering what the heck is a second photographer and do I need one? It's a fair question. As you know, weddings are one of the biggest days of your lives and you want every epic moment captured. So the question is, do you need one photographer or two? Today, I'm breaking down 3 key factors to consider when you're making that call. First up, let's talk about the size of your wedding. And no, I'm not just talking about the guest count, I mean the whole setup. If you're having a cozy, intimate wedding with 50 guests, one photographer is totally enough. But if you're planning a 3-location, 300 guest extravaganza, yeah, a second photographer is gonna be your best friend. Here's a general rule of thumb I'd like to suggest. If you're having a wedding with under 120 guests and it's taking place in one location, one photographer should be plenty. If your wedding has 150 guests or more, a second shooter is a nice to have. If your wedding is taking place across multiple locations, has a guest count of over 200, a second photographer is pretty much a must-have. I once shot in a reach wedding with 400 guests and 3 total locations all by myself. Did I survive? Yes. Would a second photographer have been helpful? Definitely. But do keep in mind that every photographer has their own comfort level, so talk to yours and see what they recommend based on their style and experience. The second factor to consider is the depth of coverage that you're interested in. Here's the deal, your lead photographer's main focus will always be on you, the couple, your family, and all the big moments. That means while you're exchanging vows or breaking it down on the dance floor, they might not catch Aunt Susan's wicked dance moves or your college friends sharing a drink at table 7. A second shooter gives you extra angles, extra candids, and a more complete story of your day. If having as many guest moments as possible matters to you, I suggest going for 2 photographers. But if you just want the key moments like the first look, first dance, etc., then one photographer will totally do the job. If you're looking into different wedding photographers, I suggest you ask them to send you a couple full-day wedding galleries and ask if they shot those weddings alone or with a second photographer. Reviewing those galleries should give you a good glimpse into the photographer's approach to wedding photography and how they go about juggling wedding day VIPs and guests. Okay, the last factor to consider is backup and reliability. Generally, I like to err on the side of optimism, but weddings are live events, which means stuff happens. Cameras can fail, batteries can die, a photographer can get sick, and while that's all rare, it is something to think about. A second shooter adds an extra layer of safety, just in case something crazy happens. That said, most experienced solo wedding photographers have the backup gear, emergency plans, and a network of photographer friends that they can call in a pinch. If you prefer to err on the side of caution, then a second photographer will bring you peace of mind. If you're confident in your photographer and the general layout of your wedding day, or you just want to wing it and roll with the punches, then one photographer will be just fine. Ultimately, choosing the right photographer is way more important than choosing how many photographers to have. Find someone whose style resonates with you, who makes you feel comfortable, and who's got a solid plan in place. If you're planning your big day and want to learn more about my approach, check out the links in the description. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more wedding tips, and drop a comment if you have any questions.